Hello, everyone. The wait is over. Today on the Actor Show, we have Travis Vandeusen, certified from John C. Maxwell, the John Maxwell team. I'm sure everybody knows about him, but it's a format of our program, so I would request Mr. Travis Vandeusen to just give a little introduction for our audience.
Well, hello everybody. Thank you. First of all, thank you, Abbas, for inviting me to the show. I appreciate the time. I appreciate your passion for these subjects that we've been talking about over the last couple of months, and look forward to diving into them tonight. A little bit about me. My name is Travis Vandeusen, and I live here in the United States in North Carolina. And I am a leadership and communications coach and certified with the John Maxwell team. Been certified for around 2 years, but been in the leadership space for most of my career. I am I work in the management space in the aviation industry, so I bring a lot of experience to the table. But I'm also in a learning spot, so I'm really excited to be here and looking forward to some questions.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. Actually, Mr. Travis, because so many people know you, so I'm getting the questions with the people who are watching. I'm getting it on my WhatsApp. So if you give me the permission, it's okay. Shall I ask you some questions from our audience? Shall I go ahead?
Let's go.
All right. So one is from Alaska. That why does leadership matter? Please ask Mr. Travis Vindusen. Why does leadership matter? This is from Alaska. Yeah.
Oh, excellent question. So, it's the question I asked myself years ago when I first began trying to getting into that space of influencing people and trying to get find a career, trying to find my purpose in life. As I very quickly realized that your ability to not only lead people, but our ability to communicate with people successfully matters greatly, and our ability to build that influence that causes people to want to follow us truly matters. But I want to define something for you really quick. Leadership means so many different things in our cultures across the world. The type of leadership that I have been raised on through learning from John Maxwell for many years and learning from many great mentors throughout the years is that the type of leadership we talk about, that we teach, that I believe in, is servant leadership, transformational leadership. The idea that leadership is not about a position or a place of power, but it's more about your ability to love and care for others and influence them and lead them in a direction that makes the team successful. And that's what differs from us, from the rest of the world, who views leadership as a position in which they use that position to leverage themselves into getting what they want. But we choose to lead from a position of serving the people that we are entrusted to lead, but doing that through the ability of leading them, through serving them, through caring for them, and also through effective communication.
Wow, that is heavy. That is heavy. That is amazing. And another question we have received from UAE, United Arab Emirates. They say that please ask him, as a leader, what would you say is the most important aspect of leadership?
Hmm. It's a good question. Very good question. Um, in the early years of my life, I would say that your greatest leadership, the greatest aspect of leadership would be your knowledge base, how much you know. But as I've matured in my leadership, I really believe that if we want to operate at the highest level in our leadership, it really begins with character. Our character to be able to be trusted, to have high morals, to be someone who's above reproach, who holds true to their word, and they build that character, and they so over a period of time to where they build that trust that comes parallel to their leadership. So I would say character would be my most important aspect.
Wow, wow, that is amazing. That is amazing. And we're receiving questions more and more. So I don't know which one to choose. Let's see. Uh, so I'll ask you one question, which is from Pakistan. As a John Maxwell team member, what is the greatest lesson you have learned from John C. Maxwell? Nice.
Oh, this is an easy one for me. Um, the greatest lesson I've learned by far from being mentored by John Maxwell through books, through his conferences, through the John Maxwell team, and all of the mentors that come along with that team. As I would definitely say that leadership is not a position. That is one of the greatest lessons that I learned early in my career and in my leadership, is that leadership is not about the title that you hold, but it is about the influence that you possess over the people that you are tasked to lead. If we hold a position, people follow us because they have to. But when we build influence and relationships with the people we lead, people follow us because they want to, and because they have that desire to follow you, because they know that you have an ability to lead, and more than that, they have a trust that they know that you have the best in mind for them. But too often we lean back on position, and when we do that, it's a scare tactic. It's a tactic that will only get us so far in life. People won't go the extra mile when we lead by position. People will only do just enough to get by. But when we lead from a position of influence and understanding that it doesn't matter what title or position we hold, we begin to build a relationship where people will follow us simply because of who we are and what we've done for them, and not because they have to.
It was good, it was excellent, and I hope the audience is satisfied with your answer. For me, it's an amazing answer. And the other question is from Saudi Arabia. What sets a leader apart from a manager or boss?
Very good question. So first thing that I'll say is this: is that there is I don't want to, before I say my actual answer, I want to say this first. It's very important that we realize that we need a mix of management and leadership in the business place. There is a place in time that we need to be more of a managerial mindset, and there are times where we also need to have more of a leadership mindset. So you're going to need both. But the biggest difference between a leader and a manager is this: managers lead everyone the same way. I'll give you an example. A manager leads all personalities the same way. They treat everybody the same way. They don't differentiate based on that person's personality, or how they process information, or what they see as success, or where they at in their life. Whether they're a millennial or they're a baby boomer, or whatever demographical aspects that come into place. But a leader leads everyone on an individual basis. They understand that not everybody can be led the same way. So the major thing that sets them apart is this: a manager leads everyone the same way because they manage processes. So a manager manages processes. A leader manages people. And leadership, and even in business, is not about the management structure. It's about leading the people who operate the process. So if we start with leadership and we start with the people, then the managerial side of the business becomes much easier. And that's what sets those two things apart.
Wow, amazing, amazing, amazing. That is heavy. And the one question has come from India. What advice would you give someone who is new to leadership?
Hmm. Well, if we only, it would. I could give you a list a mile long on advice that I've learned myself and that I'm still learning. But if I had to narrow it down to a few, I would say that number one, our biggest responsibility as leaders is to genuinely love the people that we lead. One of the first things that I learned through reading John Maxwell's books is this: if you're interested in being a leader, but you don't want to love people, then don't lead. Because leaders who don't love their people, don't love the people who follow them, they end up manipulating them into something. They end up manipulating them and putting them in a place that is not good for the unit or the people, the work group. But when a leader leads from a point of genuinely loving the people that they lead and genuinely caring for the people that they lead, then your leadership is at a different level, because it's all about the people. Remember that it's all about the people. As a leader, as a manager, you need your people to be there for you and to operate successfully. So that would be the first thing I would suggest. The second thing I would suggest is going back to the positional leadership aspect. New leaders, new people who have just been given their first time manager position, their first time as a supervisor, they really focus in too much on the position. And they focus in on, I have the title, you have to listen to me, I have the authority, so therefore you have to follow my directions. And they don't look to build that rapport. They don't look to build relationships. So my best advice would be, number one, love your people. Understand that is the most important piece of leadership. It's if you can't check that box, then nothing else matters. Secondly to that, I would say simply that you need to understand that leadership is not a position, and that also leadership is also, I'll add one more caveat in there, one more thing in there. Leadership is also a journey. If you choose today you want to be a leader, that does not make you successful tomorrow. The reality is leadership is a journey. It's something that we do daily. It's something that you develop over a period of time. And over the period of your experience, of your career, and over your life, this is something that is developed. So if you're new to leadership, don't worry about being great at everything. Just focus on being that little bit better each day, that 1% better each day, the improving each day, and just simply focus on the process, not the destination.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. That is awesome. That is awesome. I'm so grateful to you that you gave us such beautiful statements regarding leadership. Yeah, and I hope that our youth and the people who are watching and who will watch afterwards, they will benefit from your amazing thoughts. So, Mr. Travis Vandeusen, as you're my teacher as well, and I've been certified by you under the John Maxwell team for the Mastermind program as the person of influence. Me, Abbas Kamber, Yasmin V, Jenny Boy, Vanya, Alan Tazaj. We all got certified out of 13. We 5 survived, and it was, as I said earlier in the previous program, that the course was tough, it was long, but at the same time it was beautiful, it was grooming, and we had a beautiful experience and knowledge. So thank you so very much for that. End of the show, would you like to give some words of wisdom to our audience, sir?
Absolutely. Well, first off, I'd like to say that there is some opportunities to not only work with me, but work with Abbas in our group coming up in the near future. There's some masterminds that are coming available that you can sign up that are absolutely free. If you check out my Facebook or check out my website, or we can drop some links into this YouTube video afterwards. So take advantage of those opportunities that are coming up. But I would just say this to leave us for tonight is this, that our world is changing vastly, very quickly. Things are shifting. The challenges that we're facing today are not anything that we've seen in this century, in the last 100 years. Leadership is going to be is key to our world moving forward. Our ability to lead and communicate with people and love people and teaching value-based leadership is going to be so important. So as we move forward and as we people grow and I hope that you're growing in leadership and communication and you value your personal growth, but as we move forward, we have to understand that we cannot solve new problems with old solutions. And obviously, a lot of things that we've tried for years are not working. And it takes true leaders to stand up and hold to their values and to their morals and to their beliefs to lead people from a genuine place of love and care. And that's where I think our world needs to go. And I believe leadership is going to be key to that.